In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this really cool and unique succulent wall decor. If you want to learn how to make it, well then follow me. What's up, Glue Dots? I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter, and today's project is something that I have been wanting to do for a really long time. It was an inspiration that I saw outdoors on this trip that we had taken for a day trip one weekend a while back, and I've been wanting to do it, and I finally did, and I love the way it turned out, and I'm so excited to show it to you. It's fun, it's easy to make, and it just looks super cool on the wall. So I want to show you that ASAP, but first, if you like my channel, give me a thumbs up and please hit that subscribe button down below and the bell next to it, and that will inform you every time I upload a new video. Also, a couple little other things down below in the description box. I will be slowly adding to more of my videos a PDF file that you will be able to purchase from my website and download it so that you will always have the directions right there with you and not have to follow along with the video in case you're someone that likes to have actually the paper copy. Another thing that will also be down below in the description box is a place where you can enter your email address to enter for a monthly drawing that I'll be doing for a super adorable little owl bling keychain, and I'll be doing that the first of every month. So make sure you go down there if that's something that interests you and look not only at the PDF but also for the drawing entry. And one other little thing, E6000 came out with a new glue, you guys, and it doesn't stink. Super exciting. So I'm really anxious to be using that more. Right now it's a little hard to find and it's a bit expensive, but I'm really looking forward to that coming out in the stores because I know that's something we all love, E6000, but we all hate the smell. So enough of that. With all that stuff being said, the most important part is that we get to this project. So let's do it. As you know, I like to start off with anything that needs painting to get started first, to give it time to dry while we work on the other parts. I'm going to be spraying mine with this, just something I happen to have. I bought it at Dollar General for, I don't know, $2.50, $3.50, I'm not even sure, but it was a great deal. So I got it. Use whatever color you would like and get this whole thing spray painted. We'll let it dry and we'll be back to do the next step. In the meantime though, get this hot knife turned on because you're going to want to use that for the next step. And we need to give it time to warm up as well. Okay, be right back. So for this next part, you're going to take your ladle and we're going to cut it off just above the bowl, right before it starts to get that little curved area. I don't mind it being asymmetrical. I think it gives a little extra touch to our piece. And also I'd like it to be as big as it can be. So I'm going to go down as far as I can above this bowl part and cut it. If you don't already have one of these hot knives, this is such a great tool and it will totally be a game changer for you with your crafting and the things that you can make. By using this, the closer you are to this part, the hotter the blade, so it will work a lot quicker than if you're trying to cut with the tip. And also make sure you're in a well-ventilated space because you don't need to be breathing all those fumes. Just work your way through, applying gentle pressure, and I kind of do a little back and forth. I don't know if you need to, but I don't know, it's just what I do. And there you go. Quick and easy. And then I save these bowls. I'm trying to come up with a good DIY for these. They look like bra cups. Anyway, okay, so we'll do the next step here in just 1 second. So the next thing we're going to be doing is taking our piece of foam core and we're going to be cutting out the shape of our ladle piece. So using that as a template, I'm just going to go and cut out this shape, and that is going to be glued to this as a base for our design. Save your piece because we're also going to need this to make a base for our frame piece that is out drying right now. So we'll put this aside, and when that other piece is dry, we'll bring it in and cut the base out of this. Okay, this should fit just like that inside of our other piece, and we're going to be gluing and attaching these two pieces together. Oh boy, I should put a piece of parchment paper down for this because it can stick really bad to my desk. Those of you that follow me often know how much I love parchment paper. It is the best for so many different uses when you're dealing with hot glue. So there you have it. I have this little piece right here like that. The next step will be to take our willow wreath, and we're going to be taking this apart. So what I'm actually going to be doing is cutting pieces from it. Now if you have these from Dollar Tree, they're great because they have a little cutout in here, which is perfect for cutting branches and things like that. So I'm going to do my branch pieces about 3 inches long. Okay, so you're going to cut multiple pieces, different size diameter is fine. Just go through and cut, and if they're a little bit crooked, that's fine too. If some are a little bit longer than others, that's also fine. So go around and do several pieces, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, so you should have a bunch of these little wood pieces cut in all varying diameters and approximately the same length. And what we're going to be doing is gluing those on to our ladle piece here. I'm going to put the glue onto my ladle piece. That might be the easiest way to do it. And we're going to go across all the way around and just pick different diameters, whatever. Just grab whatever you grab and attach it on there. When you're done gluing all your pieces, you should have something that looks like this. Now we're going to cut the piece that's going to go underneath our box frame just to give it some support. And that piece is going to be 2 3/4 by 11 1/4. And this should fit right inside if we cut it the right size. Okay, so we have our painted artwork, we have our piece here. What we're going to be doing is stuffing this piece inside of the back of the artwork here, whatever you call it, our little box art. This way it just gives a little more of a solid base to it so that it's not just the fabric or the canvas on the front. You probably won't even have to glue this in. I think mine's just a hair too long because it's bubbling up over here. You probably can't see that on camera. So I'm going to trim it down just a bit and then put it back in. Okay, I've got a little bit better fit now. It's not popping up in the front. If you get that in there comfortably, you're just going to go ahead and throw a little bit of glue in those corners to make sure that that stays in place. We're going to let that cool off a little bit in there, and then we're going to be gluing on our little wood piece here. Okay, so I know this goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway because sometimes the most obvious things elude us when we're crafting. Make sure that your little hook, your hanger piece, is facing up when you're gluing your piece on, so you don't get it all done and find out you glued it on upside down. And what we're going to do is put glue along this bottom edge and also on the edge of our ladle and attach that down to our artwork. Aardvark. I don't know, easy for me to say, right? Not really. Now I lined mine up on the bottom as well. And give that a little bit of time to really dry there before we move it. And we're also going to be adding some glue to any sticks that may be touching, and we're also going to add some glue inside. I may need to add a stick over here. If you can see, I have a space and I need the extra support there for this. Anyway, as soon as that hardens and solidifies there, what we can do is start adding in our succulents. Now, if you would like to, you can add in some of the floral moss in there, or that reindeer moss, or any of those kind of things. It's entirely up to you. So I ended up putting in some moss in mine, and I really like the way it kind of comes out between the branches. But what I'm not liking is how stark my white background is against the really natural thing. And I had a gut feeling that I wasn't gonna like that, but I did it anyway. So what I'm gonna do is take some brown paint and a dry brush, and I'm gonna kind of do a little bit around the edges here to break up this whiteness before I put my succulents in there. So I just grabbed a little bit of this burnt umber that I got from Walmart, and I'm going to use that. Okay, now I'm liking it a lot better. The next thing we're going to do, take apart our succulents. Some of them are clips. If you have the ones that are in the little pots, they pull out very, very easily from that styrofoam, so not a problem. Once you figure out how you want to get them in there, go ahead and glue them in. So I'm going to go ahead and play around with these, get them placed, and then I'm going to show you this all finished.